I'm Kat.
I'm Haley.
And this is Night Classy, the podcast where two teachers unwind, sip wine, and each teach a lesson we can't teach at school. What are we drinking, Haley?
We are drinking Opa Pipeno.
Great job.
Or something like that. I'm very confident in Pipeno.
Pipeno sounds right. It's like jalapeno.
Yeah, the Enye, I nail it.
Yeah.
Which expands for 5 years. That's what happens.
Yeah.
But the Opa, A-U-P-A, I don't know. It's a Chilean wine. It's a rosé, apparently.
Is it?
That's what it said on one website, but I'm like,
no way.
You know what? There's a dot right here that says red wine.
Okay.
on the actual bottle. So I don't know what that website was talking about.
Yeah, I was gonna say this wine is dark.
Yeah, she's definitely a red wine. She is a 13.5%. So, you're run of the mill, but she's not just your run of the mill. She's very dry.
Yes.
I'll give her that. And she's Chilean. I did learn in researching this wine that Pipeno, I'm guessing that's how it's pronounced, is the traditional method of winemaking in Chile.
Okay.
So there you go. Fun fact.
Cool.
I'll tell you what, though, I do love getting to try all the different wines that are recommended to us with our partners over at High Point, because we've gotten completely out of our shell. We've tried rosés, we've tried white wines, we've tried this red wine this week.
Have we tried a white wine? I don't think they've ever given us a white wine.
Yeah, they did.
When?
Like last month. It was
No.
like one, or was it the rosé?
It was a rosé.
Oh, okay. Apparently it shocked my system as if it were a white wine.
They're kind to us. They don't do that shit.
I'm waiting for them to give us a good white wine. They're like, okay, what's the white wine for red wine
I know.
lovers?
I kind of want them to. I was watching a video on TikTok about like Kylie Jenner's favorite white wine, and it costs like $15. And maybe I'll try that one.
Yeah, maybe we should.
Yeah.
If you want to be like Kylie Jenner, you have to drink like Kylie Jenner.
That's right. You gotta practice how you want to play.
She's over in her house like, if you want to be like a teacher, you have to drink like a teacher. Cue the $15 bottle of wine.
Oh my God. Absolutely no part of Kylie Jenner wants to be like a teacher, let me tell you.
Her wine drinking senses apparently do.
That's true. And it's also Drake's favorite wine. So
what?
It's exciting.
Okay, that just goes to show that it doesn't matter how much you spend on wine, that like it's all going to get the job done.
Yes, it all tastes the same no matter how expensive or how cheap.
Yeah.
And that's a fact.
Right. There are some that I just like a little bit more.
Yeah.
I like them all.
Yeah, they're all good. But yeah, this wine is from High Point. I think it retails for $11.99.
Yes, it does.
And if you want to get yourself a bottle of this wine, you can head down to 469 High Point Terrace in West Memphis, Tennessee. And not West Memphis, in Memphis, Tennessee. But that's in... Don't look at me like that. It's in East Memphis. What part of Memphis?
Yeah, East Memphis.
East Memphis. Okay, I'm not completely crazy. West Memphis is in, fun fact, West Memphis is in Arkansas.
Right. The city is just smack dab in the middle of the Mississippi.
Yeah. So there's a West Memphis in Arkansas where our cats were born. And there's a Memphis, the right one, here in Tennessee.
A tale of two states. The Memphis story.
Yes. She's like Romeo and Juliet, just divided right down the middle by the Mississippi River. It's tragic.
Right. I remember when we moved here and I was like, do you think anyone has ever swam in the Mississippi? And we look out and it's just like gushing, like unsafe waters.
Yeah, maybe they did, but they died immediately.
I was like, I don't know. It was just a question, guys.
Do you think you'd first die from the current or the pollution?
Ooh, I think probably pollution would take a minute to really
really
affect you. I'm just afraid of like hitting something in the water because that water is really, really gushing.
And full of shit. Yeah. And it just like plows right through. It's honestly kind of scary. Like you don't even want to get too close to the riverbank.
Yeah. So true.
Yeah. Well, all right. We just got back from somewhere very exciting.
Oh my gosh, it was so nice to be vaccinated and go somewhere. We did, although we are kind of like trash talking the whole West Memphis thing in Arkansas, we did go further into Arkansas.
Yeah.
We went like all the way west.
We ventured deep into Arkansas, bordering on Kansas, I believe.
Yeah.
Is that true? Or Oklahoma? I don't know my geography, but we went to the other side, the west side of Arkansas.
There were states, multiple.
Several. And I mean, honestly, what's the difference between Oklahoma and Kansas?
It's just all one big casserole as far as I'm concerned.
One big cornfield. We went to the Crescent Hotel, America's most haunted hotel. We stayed there for 2 nights. And I like really desperately wanted for something major to happen when we were all awake. But then every night I'd lay there in our hotel room and I'd wake up in the middle of the night and be like petrified, like just scared to open my eyes.
Yeah.
Because,
like, oh God, no, I'm not ready. I didn't want it like this.
Exactly. I wanted something to happen during the day. But it was really fun. It was a gorgeous hotel in such a cool little town. We filmed a whole thing about the town's history and about the ghosts. We went on the ghost tour and walked around the hotel and filmed our own little ghost tour for you guys. So it's going to be a really cool video. It'll probably take a lot of time to produce because we have a lot of content, so just stay tuned. Also, I think I said on an earlier episode that we would do quarterly field trips. This is proving to be a lot more work than I think any of us anticipated, so it might have to be a semesterly field trip, but we'll see. We'll try to do as many as we can for you guys on Patreon.
Right. And I would just say turn that frown right upside down because I know you're excited to see the content, but with it taking, a little bit to edit, a little bit of time, that also means that you have time to head on over to Patreon so that you can help you girls out. We really appreciate everyone on Patreon. We actually just spent some time at the post office today.
Oh my God. We spent a lot of time at the fucking post office.
I feel like I know the lady who helped us at the post office on a personal level.
Oh, we're related now. She's part of the family.
I'm fully expecting an invitation to 4th of July, Thanksgiving dinner, Christmas morning.
Yeah, this poor woman, because they didn't have enough stamps to sell us to send all the packages, she had to sit there and manually enter like all 60 addresses into the system on her slow ass old outdated machine. But she was a trooper. She did it and they're in the mail several hours later.
Yeah, she was the real trooper. I was standing there like shifting my weight between each foot, oh, my life is so hard. No, her life was hard today.
Yes. Yeah. But she did it. Your pins are in the mail. You should have gotten them by the time this episode comes out. If you have any questions, we have all the tracking numbers. So reach out, send us an email or a DM. We'll find out where your package is. And yeah, in other exciting news, my ringworm is back in full force.
I didn't know you were going to talk about that. That caught me off guard a bit.
I mean, how could I not? It's all over my body.
It's all over now?
It's on my hand. I have a big spot on my hand and I have 2 big spots on my leg.
Oh, no.
So I bought a lot of jock itch cream today. Went through self-checkout so I wouldn't have to make eye contact with the checker.
Now that COVID has come around, we do self-checkout every time. Like, it doesn't matter. They just let you go. So we'll be in self-checkout for like 15 minutes straight, just checking out our
You do it with like when you get like a lot of groceries?
Yeah, like our grocery trips. Like, we have not gotten... Mostly because we just don't want to talk to people generally.
Yeah. I don't know. I like self-checkout when it's like just a few things, but when I have a lot of things, I get really stressed out and I feel like I'm not doing it fast enough and I feel like everyone in line is staring at me, so it just like gives me a lot of anxiety and sometimes I have to go to like an actual person when I have like a cart full.
I get that. Once you get past that, it's amazing. Once you stop caring about other people's time, the world is your oyster.
See, that's where you and I differ because I can't. And that was grocery store time with Kat and Haley. Alec looks like he wants to kill us.
I've said that we have too much grocery store content on this pod.
Okay, during COVID, that's the only place I go.
It's
That's
relatable.
true.
It's
That's
relatable.
What else am I supposed to talk about?
Well, we might as well just call it night grocery store, okay?
Night Shift, like that SpongeBob episode.
We're pivoting, you guys. This is a rebrand.
Hash slinging, flash flinging, crash wine drinking slasher.
If you can't beat them, join them.
Oh my God. There's a Twitter account that I don't think is any longer active, but it's about the Midtown Kroger, which is the grocery store that we are forced to go to. And it's like notoriously, like if you're from Memphis or live in Memphis, you know. And there's a Twitter account that like tweets as if like there's someone who works in the grocery store, and maybe they are, but like they just have like the most absurd. It's so funny. I wish I could think of an example right now.
I wish you could too. We could probably make one up.
But follow, I think it's just like Midtown Kroger on Twitter.
I could think of one. Their tweet is like, God damn it, here's that couple who always comes in with 200 items through the self-checkout and I have to go in every 5 items because it stops you after it gets over 20 and it's like, alert. 30 items, literally.
I can't believe it does that. One time I went through and I only had like 10 items and it stopped me and it was like, alert, 10 items. And the worker had to go over and I was like, does it do this every time? She's like, no, it's like just fucking random and you're allowed to have more than this. It's very frustrating, and I can't wait until our lives revolve around more than work and grocery stores.
Me too. Spring break has been a nice break away from that. But
yeah, our trip to Arkansas was cool. At one point on the way home, we were just driving, and it took us down this weird dirt road, like very rural Arkansas, like way up in the Ozark Mountains. And we're driving up and down this like very hilly dirt road. And we're like, when is this gonna fucking end? And then we came up on, it was like a bridge, but it was underwater.
Yeah, it looked like it had been in the river for several years at that point.
And other people who had trucks were just like breezing right on over it, and I was not about to fucking risk it, so we had to turn around and go all the way back up this dirt road. It was quite the adventure.
If we would have asked somebody who's like passing by us, like, hey, what should we do about the like water on the road? They'd be like, what?
Yeah.
You'd be like, that bridge that's in the river? They'd be like, the river? A bridge in the river? And you'd be like, the one that's like, you know, it's covered in water, but it's still the road. They'd be like, oh, yeah.
Water bridge.
Right.
Yeah, I know water bridge. We just drive right over it.
Yeah, they really do, though.
They really do. And it's like a cement bridge with no railing. None. Like it's like a slab of cement over this river, but it's under the river. Like you can barely see the bridge.
Your Kia Soul would have been a Kia See You Later.
A Kia Spirit, because it's passed on to the next life because it's stuck in the river.
Kia Soiled.
Yeah. Also, we were talking about this earlier today, but I have a Kia Soul, and Kia Souls have been getting a lot of hate online, and I just want to make a public service announcement that it's the best car in the whole world, and everyone can shut their ass.
Well, I'm going to disagree on that.
Okay.
My first car was a Toyota Avalon. Shout out to all the Toyota Avalons, and that was one of the best cars. Maybe it's nostalgia,
but
maybe it's fact.
The key word here is one of the best cars.
Oh, I thought you said
Kia Soul is the best. You said one of.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I think it's pretty great. It gets the gas mileage of a sedan, but it's big and roomy like an SUV.
Shoebox looking ass.
Hamster car. This is a Kia Soul commercial, fully sponsored.
Where's my money? Because I am not fully sponsored.
I am. It was a private deal.
We pit Kia and Toyota against each other to see who's going to pay who more.
And then we end up paying them because they file a lawsuit against us for claiming they were sponsoring us.
Yeah, we use their names. Also, I drive a Chevy now. So Chevy, if you're interested in a little deal.
The Toyota must not have been that great of a car if you ended up getting a Chevy.
That's not what it's about. It's more about College Haley's credit buying a new car fresh out of school.
Toyotas can be cheap.
Right. I was in a crunch because I had to move to Memphis in 5 days. So I was just kind of like, oh, this car, I can buy it? Okay, I'm going to buy it.
Oh my gosh. That was kind of me too. The Kia was like the cheapest the cheapest new car out there, but
Yeah,
it worked out.
They let me drive off the lot with a 2019 like Chevy something like an SUV, and I thought I was gonna get it. They called me the next day and they're like, it's gonna be $500 to $800 monthly for you
What?
to have this car. And I was like,
They didn't tell you that when you were applying for the loan?
no. They were like, do an overnight drive. Like, it's fine. We do this all the time. And then we'll do your paperwork and like get back to you tomorrow.
What?
Yeah. So now I'm my 2016 lovey Chevy baby. Love
Yeah.
her so much.
I mean, she cute.
If you had car financing on your Night Classy bingo board, you can go ahead and check that. One of the many topics we hit usually.
Hey, we never know where this is going to go. Haley and I live
I have
together.
a pretty good idea of where it goes. Goes to car financing and grocery stores.
well, we're about to change that up here.
we need something. Also, this is another thing. So last episode, we said it was going to be girls' night and we were going to go out and re-enter society. But then there was a fucking tornado right when we were about to leave and we had to hide from the tornado in our house.
We were literally like, let's just drink one more White Claw and then we'll be on our way out. And then Mother Nature is like, and that's the tornado
the
alarm.
fucking sirens went off. Never in my life I've heard tsunami sirens.
What do those sound like?
The same thing, but they're for a tsunami. But this was tornado sirens, and I got scared. Not gonna lie.
They should make the sirens that you remember that video that the guy was like, hide your kids, hide your wife. Yeah. They should make it that.
That would be much less frightening.
I was gonna say I would take it more seriously.
Really?
Personally.
Oh.
Yeah, if the government's gonna like blast that throughout the city, that's pretty serious.
It's true.
Anybody can just blast the siren sound.
If you guys had weather patterns on your Night Classy bingo, go ahead and check that.
Okay, Alec, again, here's the thing. We're in a pandemic. We don't get out much. And we live together. We talk to each other all day, every day. And then we come in here and we're expected to have conversations. And I don't know what the hell we're going to talk about. So we just make Alec mad by talking about things that he doesn't like.
Weather is relatable. Raise your hand if you've never experienced weather. I'll wait. Point in case.
Yeah.
Or is it case in
When
point?
you're right, you're right. Yeah.
Also, I got my period today and I feel angry. So if you want to fight, I'm ready for a fight.
Oh my God, please fight.
He's just sitting here rolling his eyes and shaking his head.
I feel like, Alec, you hold back on telling, like, giving criticisms to things that I do. And I think you should start opening up the gates to both of us.
I get the stick every time.
Oh, do you? Interesting how it's not described as a log. She gets the stick.
I was thinking of like I don't know, like
Dog in stick.
okay, well, I was gonna call myself the whipping girl, and I was like, maybe that's inappropriate, so I'll just say the stick. I don't know.
By saying you're not gonna say it, that's.
Okay, I read The Whipping Boy in elementary school. I feel like I can say it, but it's about the Middle Ages. I feel like that was long enough ago. I can say
We
it.
can make jokes about it now.
Yeah. But anyway,
boy.
we'll be like laying in bed and he's like, you know what you could do differently on Night Classy? And I appreciate the criticism and the constructiveness, but what I don't appreciate is that I get it and you don't.
Yeah, I should get it too. I mean, I do get it from Tommy, but not as often, I'm sure.
No, Alec's pretty good. I'm exaggerating. He doesn't do it that much.
Well, let me just clear the air here and say, let's try to cut back on grocery store content, weather content, and auto finance content.
All right, well, those are the three things that my life revolves around. So I don't know what you expect me to do.
I'm just in shock. I'm taken aback. I'm offended.
You're like, I do not take criticism well.
I know, I'm like, criticize me. And then I'm like, fuck you.
You just burst into tears.
Also, we've gotten like a lot of new listeners lately. Like we just got a wave and they're all listening to this and immediately like, what the fuck is going on? It's been 20 minutes and they're talking about, now they're fighting actually.
Well, Alec is going to cut this down to like 10 max.
Yeah.
But I will
He's going to take some liberties.
Can I give you guys some praise now? You haven't talked about litter boxes yet, which that's the fourth one and you didn't hit it yet.
Well, we could.
No, please don't.
All right.
I'm
well,
glad we got that out.
Yeah.
So Alec doesn't have an aneurysm. We breathalyzed and I blew a .020.
I blew a .067.
So Miss Haley is going to go first.
That for some reason just reminded me, my dad used to call me Haley Schmaley Puddin' Pie. And I don't know why, but Miss Haley reminded me of that.
Wow.
So anyway, on to my lesson. Okay, this one's going to be hopefully fun and light and exciting. I decided to do, I'm a list bitch this week, and I'm covering a list of some accidental inventions.
Love a list, bitch.
Absolutely. Okay, number 1. Penicillin. I feel like everyone kind of knows this story, but I thought it'd be fun to learn a little bit more about. So before the discovery of penicillin, there was no way to treat things like pneumonia, gonorrhea, fevers, and people were dying left and right from these simple ailments that today are so simple to treat, like cuts and scrapes at the very least. But back before the invention of penicillin, they could become infected and you could easily die. Like literally the doctors were just there to be like, I see you have a scrape there. We're going to wait and see what happens. Like that was the doctor's job, was just to play the waiting game. And then in 1928, Alexander Fleming, a professor who was studying bacteria at St. Mary's Hospital in London, he was getting ready to go on vacation, you know, wrapping things up at work, getting signatures, putting all his shit away. But he didn't really do that great of a job because when he came back, he started cleaning the petri dishes that he was using to look at and experiment with bacteria. And there was some mold growth on one of them. It's like when you leave for vacation and some of your plates are left out, maybe in the sink. There's some mold growth.
It happens.
Luckily not to us this vacation.
Yeah, not to us.
With this mold growth in this petri dish, it was irregular because there was only supposed to be bacteria, but there was that mold too. There was some bacteria all around the edges of the petri dish, but it seemed as though something from the mold killed the bacteria all around it. So it was like mold in the middle, nothing. And then on the outer edges, it was bacteria. And Fleming realized that he had just accidentally discovered what is now considered the very first antibiotic.
So we take mold.
Yeah, it's antibiotics are, quote, compounds produced by bacteria and fungi, which are capable of killing or inhibiting competing microbial species.
Wow.
And fun fact, the ancient Egyptians actually would take like moldy bread and grind it into a lotion of sorts, and they would put that moldy bread lotion onto infected wounds, and it would help.
Don't you wonder how people came up with this stuff?
Yes, all the time.
So weird.
I don't know how people survived before the 1900s.
Oh, same. But also, who was the first person to put a slice of moldy bread on their arm? And
that's
it
a great
fixed
question.
their wound.
I have no idea. Like, I want to make a joke about it, but I don't even have a good hypothesis.
Yeah, that's wild. So much trial and error. I mean, people have been around for thousands and thousands of years. Just like, it really is wild how we like always have learned from the past generation.
What is the first thing you would try to use that you've never used before if you had a wound that you had to take care of?
Like if I was in the wild?
Yeah.
My first impulse is to spit on it.
No, that is the worst thing. Your mouth is dirty.
Okay, well now I know not to do that.
Yeah, you should never lick your wounds if they're bleeding. You didn't know that?
I don't think so. Maybe
Wow.
maybe I'd put like
You would definitely die in the wild.
Oh, for sure. I wouldn't even try to be alive. I would know I was going to die. Bark? Can I put bark on it?
Bark. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe there's some mold
I
on
thought
the
you
bark.
meant like a dog. I was like, what?
I would find a wild dog.
And make it bark on my arm.
Yeah.
I thought you meant you would bark like, "Arr, arr."
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's why I was like, what?
That would be weird.
That would be weird. I don't know what I would do. Maybe if I was near an ocean, I would probably dip it in the ocean. Get that salt water on
or
it.
pee on it.
No, you should never do that
Oh.
either.
Gotcha.
Oh my God, for the amount of times you've been just camping, I'm shocked.
I mean, I've never gotten wounded.
But I feel like
camping.
I feel like they probably taught this to you. Like you're
Who?
talking about being a camp
Who
counselor.
would have taught me this?
I'm trying to tell you, girlfriend. You were learning CPR as a camp counselor.
That wasn't like a real camp counselor. I was a camp. Well, it wasn't like a summer camp. Well, it wasn't like a nature camp. I was a camp counselor in Seattle. Like we'd bring them to a park every day. And I drove I drove this giant, it's technically a van, but it was more like a small school bus full of children every day through the city, like 30, 40 minutes.
Wow, that's
And it was a
impressive.
very stressful job.
That's why you like your Kia Soul so much.
Oh, maybe. And the
nostalgic.
thing is that there were like 6 of us camp counselors, and for whatever reason, they chose me to be the van driver. Like just in my interview, they're like, would you feel comfortable driving a giant van through the city? And I didn't want to say no because I wanted the job. And so I said yes. And I guess I was the only one who said yes because I ended up being the van driver all summer.
Yeah, I would say so. Maybe that's even why you got hired. I mean, you have a bunch of other accolades, but willing to drive massive van
Right.
is definitely one of them.
It was actually kind of cool because then I'd get side gigs because I worked it was for the Seattle Indian Service Center or the Seattle.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I'm drunk. I can't remember where I worked. But they had like an elders program as well, and they'd take the elders on field trips. So sometimes I got to, on the weekends, drive the elders on field trips. So I got some extra hours out of driving the van.
Damn, no wonder you were whipping around the mountain curves like it was no big deal. Alec and I were like about to throw up.
I'm so sorry. I'm just not a very good driver. That's just a fact. I had to take a driving test when I was in driver's ed, and part of the driving test was like driving up along windy mountain roads like that, and I failed because my driving instructor kept having to grab the wheel because I was about to drive us off a cliff.
Oh wow, that's intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't mention that when we were scared for our lives.
Well, I didn't want to scare
in
you
the
guys.
mountains.
I didn't want to scare you guys more.
Oh boy, I failed my driver's license test because I hit the cone. And I didn't know that you could say, I'm about to hit the cone and then start over. I was like, well, I'm already about to hit it. I might as well just be done with this.
I might as well floor
hit
it.
it.
Yeah, I didn't know you could pause it. And I was like, I don't know how to get out of this positioning. We had a maneuverability test. We had to parallel park into cones.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
That
tapped
you
the
failed
cone.
for that?
Yeah, they failed me. Mm-hmm.
I took my driver's test and we also had to parallel park, but I couldn't parallel park. I just was like, I can't do this. And I tried and sucked at it, but they still gave me my license.
I tried and sucked at it. Not only that, I was expecting to get my license that day, and I was so excited because it was homecoming that day. And I was like, I'm going to drive my boyfriend and I to homecoming.
no.
First time ever. It's going to be so fun. I cried.
I bet. That is really sad.
It's okay. It all worked out. I got my license now.
Eventually.
Oh, boy. Okay. Are you ready for our next accidental invention?
Yeah.
You may know this one too, but Coca-Cola was invented accidentally. A pharmacist by the name John S. Pemberton fought in the Civil War, unfortunately for the Confederacy, as he was born in Knoxville, Georgia.
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. I thought you were going to say, unfortunately, he died. And I was going to ask what side was he on, but then
just unfortunately he was on the Confederate side. Which, yes.
Yeah, unfortunately, he was a piece of shit. And he was also wounded in the chest at the Battle of Columbus in 1865. And like you do when you're wounded in the chest, he quickly became addicted to morphine and painkillers. He also loved chemistry. So he kind of tried to get off the morphine and find other ways to treat his pain. So he tried to concoct a plethora of opium-free alternative painkillers. And he experimented with coca and cola wines, which led him to make a concoction that had cola nut and damiana. I'm not really sure what that is. I forgot to look that up. But anyway, this recipe that he made was like nothing that he had ever tasted before. And he was like, I think I just did something here.
I just mixed cocaine and wine and I like it.
Yeah, can you imagine liking that? So crazy, right?
Crazy. Wow, I can't imagine.
He coined his invention as a brain tonic that would cure headaches, relieve exhaustion, and calm nerves. So it was marketed as a medicine, and he called it Pemberton's French Wine Coca, which sounds really good. Like, if I ordered that right now, for some reason, Pemberton makes me think it would be a hot drink.
Pemberton,
like a. This sounds nasty, but some kind of cider with like hints of cocoa, maybe.
Yeah. I think it reminds me of Pendleton, like the blankets, like those cozy wool blankets. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I have no idea.
Never mind. But yeah, very like cozy cabin vibes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So he had his Pemberton's French Wine Coca, and people loved it. I mean, what's not to love?
Yeah, I can imagine.
But some wet blankets were concerned about alcohol addiction. So Pemberton was like, okay, I'll make it alcohol free. And he made
leave the cocaine.
Leave the cocaine. He made a recipe in which he just blended base syrup and carbonated water, which was also an accident. The carbonated water, he did not mean to put that into this recipe, but it worked out. And the new recipe was Coca-Cola, as we know and love it today. But again, there was the consideration of like coca, as in cocaine. So Pemberton had to defend his product and explain, he's like, there's no cocaine in it. The Coca-Cola company also changed its marketing from being medicine to just being your plain old fountain drink.
It's still medicine. I can't get through a day unless I drink a Diet Coke with lunch.
Well, it really is. Even though I was going to end this, I have a few more things about it. But even though it is just a fountain drink now, there is actual evidence provided by researchers and medical professionals that Coca-Cola may actually have some health benefits, such as breaking down stomach blockages, anti-nausea medication, and lung clearing agents.
Okay, you hear that, Alec?
Loud and clear.
There she goes.
He thinks I'm so unhealthy because I drink a Diet Coke every day, which I'm sure is true. But I like it, and I'm not going to stop.
It could be worse. She could be doing Coke at lunch every day.
That would be an option. No, it wouldn't be. But I'm also not doing that. I'm just drinking the Coca-Cola.
It's fine. Everything is fine. Also, have you seen people clean their like old, like nasty pans with Coke? Yeah. So if you can imagine what that's doing to your inside.
To your stomach lining.
You're squeaky clean. Maybe even ulcer-fied.
Squeaky clean, and yeah. I'm going to get stomach cancer, but hey.
It's going to be clean.
Am I going to stop drinking Diet Coke? Fuck no.
Pemberton sold his recipe to another pharmacist named Asa Candler, and he included the ingredient list. He told him how to make it and everything, but there was a major player in the ingredient list game, and it was under the secret name 7X. No one knew what it was, and of course, since Coca-Cola was so popular and people loved it so much, all of the soda pop producers wanted to know what 7X was. But this new owner kept the secret formula safely tucked away from anyone's eyes in a bank safe in Atlanta for over a century. And when it was rebranded, the bottles were purposefully made to look like the silhouette of a woman so that they would be more popular to the masses. So if you can picture that glass silhouette of old bottle of Coke, it's supposed to look like a woman.
Really?
Really, truly.
Wow.
So there's your little accidental Coca-Cola, which still rings true to some of us these days.
Do we know what 7X is now?
No, not in the articles that I found. I mean, it's probably the cocaine that was in it.
Well, is it still in Coca-Cola? Not
No,
cocaine,
not
but like whatever
cocaine,
7X is.
I mean, they have to tell you what it is now. So
Yeah.
whatever it is just listed.
But sometimes they just write flavoring in the ingredients. And you're like, what is that?
Yeah, you're asking way more questions than I did to myself.
Okay.
In the research. So
I understand.
That's a great question. Maybe we'll do a follow-up of like accidental inventions and where they are now.
Okay.
But not today. Okay, our next invention is the Slinky. Was an accident. Yay! Mechanical engineer Richard James, he was trying to figure out how to secure equipment on a Navy ship while the ships were like on the ocean and rocking at sea. They couldn't figure out how to keep all this stuff still and secure. So during some experimentation, he actually dropped some of his coiled wire and he watched it as it tumbled over itself across the floor. And he was like, oh, dang. I may not be able to use it to secure things, but that's kind of fun.
Yeah, that looks fun.
So
what happens if I drop it down the stairs?
Oh, my magical things. Magical things.
Mind blown.
What if I hold it in both hands and shockwave it through each one?
I don't think I ever had a real Slinky. I think I only ever had like the plastic ones that didn't work.
It's not the same.
No, because they don't work
Yeah, they
at
don't.
all.
The one downside to having the metal Slinkies, though, is that like there's a chance you get pinched.
They pinch you?
I got pinched before with a metal Slinky. Maybe I just wasn't playing with it right.
It
Who
like
knows?
did you forcefully pinch your own skin, or it just like snaps and pinches
I think
you?
it just snapped.
Wow.
It was a long
It's a lot of
time ago,
force
so
from a Slinky.
I don't quite remember. You know what? This is giving me a brain train of one time we had this really long, like, you know, those like really sticky, like slingy hand things that you could like, it was like
from
a
like
fly
bubblegum
catcher
machines.
almost. Yes, we had like an industrial grade one
What
of
the
those.
fuck kind of toys were your parents buying you? Just the aggressive version of normal toys?
Yeah, they wanted us to be independent adults, so it worked. We
Here,
got
go hurt yourself with this. I'll teach you a lesson about adulthood.
Go hurt yourself with this. That was pretty much it, though. And that's what happened. I forget which friend it was with, but it was the girl across the street. We were seeing how far we could stretch this like slingy hand thing, and she couldn't hold it anymore. Like it was slipping out of her hands, and it came and it not shot me, but it retracted
Slapped you?
into my leg.
Ooh.
And it was one of those moments where you can't even like function.
It hurt that bad.
I ran inside and like cried in my mom's bathroom.
Oh my God. See, I don't think I've ever been hurt by a toy like that, except for the time my brother was like driving a Matchbox car over my head. And
What?
I don't know why an adult allowed that to happen, but it got tangled in my hair and we couldn't get it out.
Oh man. Yeah.
It was much like the hair wreath situation.
Did you have to cut it?
Yeah. Also, I tried to wear my hair in pigtails today, but the giant chunk where I cut out the hair wreath is just like sticking straight out, so I couldn't do that.
Just gel it right,
Gel it,
gel it right
seriously.
into the ponytail.
Oh my God. It's truly like, it's like 3 inches long and a huge, like it's like spread out laterally. So there's no hiding it.
Yeah, didn't think about that when you were chopping those.
No, I just thought I was
pieces.
the funniest person ever born.
You were in that moment, but
I think it was worth it.
I think it was too.
I did have to
definitely.
explain to the hairstylist why I had a chunk of hair missing from my head. I tried to think of a good lie before I went in and I couldn't think of one. So I just had to be like, I have a podcast and I've done something wrong.
You could have been like, I was abducted by aliens.
Oh
They
my
took a
God.
sample from my brain.
I thought about saying I got gum stuck in my hair, but it's like, that's gross because how would gum get stuck in my hair as an adult? But actually, like, Memphis is the weirdest city because it's a small town in a city. And she's like, oh, you have a podcast? Are you dating Alec Ogg?
What?
Yeah.
Oh, right. This was like
This
your
was
ex
a
or
long time
something,
ago.
right?
No, she like they like worked together at a restaurant.
Oh yeah,
ages
that
ago.
was it. Anytime it's like anyone a boyfriend used to know, I'm like, it's your ex.
No, I've never ran into Alec's ex. Does she go to U of M?
No.
Where does she go? Rhodes?
Oh yeah, she does go to U of
Oh,
M
okay,
law
yeah.
school. Yeah.
Yeah. Never run into her. Do you have any other exes in this city I should know about?
I don't think I have any other exes in the city.
Okay.
Didn't we walk past her and we were both playing Pokemon Go?
Oh yeah, we did. I
And
think
you were like, I think we just walked past your girlfriend. We were both staring at our phones playing Pokemon Go. And I was like, ooh.
yeah.
It probably looked like we were avoiding her.
Yeah, like we were just staring intently into our phones.
I mean, you were.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
We
were.
probably looked like the happiest couple walking through the park staring at our phones.
Oh my god! Imagine your grandkids one day. All your pictures together of your faces, just looking into your phone.
We like literally have, because there's a thing on Pokemon Go where you can take photos in the app and it makes it look like the Pokemon is standing next to you. So we have a bunch of pictures where we're posing with Pokemon.
Oh my god! You guys haven't played Pokemon Go in a while.
Lie, we've been playing recently.
Oh.
and,
We're back, baby.
yeah.
It's
I
been
didn't
about
know-
a year.
I
but-
didn't know about it.
Where I'm like, I'm ready for more self-destruction. Let's re-download this app and let it take over my life.
I just set a rule that I can't play it in the house, though. Only when we're on designated walks.
Yeah, because otherwise he literally lays in bed and battles Pokemon all day.
Yeah, it became destructive.
I wish I could relate. That's me in TikTok.
Yeah, same.
I'm like, I can only look at TikTok while I'm on the toilet, and I have to be actively using it.
Oh my God, yeah, it will literally suck up my whole day.
Oh my god. Okay, let's move on. Let's keep things rolling here. I really want to tell you about how LSD was accidentally founded as a drug. So, I'm sorry, you looked like you were about to say something.
No, I'm just excited.
All right, so there's this Swiss guy. He was a chemist. His name is Albert Hoffman, and he accidentally discovered LSD as a drug. Like, he didn't necessarily invent the components or whatever, but this was in 1938, and while he was employed by a chemical company in Switzerland, Hoffman was tasked with researching and developing chemical compounds from ergot to be extracted for medicinal uses.
Is ergot the thing that they tried to blame the Salem witch trials on?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
It's
full circle.
the moldy red.
Yes.
It sure is. So this guy, Albert Hoffman, was combining lysergic acid, which is founded in ergot, with other substances. And eventually he mixed it with dithylamine, which made LSD. He tested it on animals, and he noted that the animals would behave with an unusual amount of excitement in everything that they did, but they couldn't really find any medical benefits to it, so the substance was shelved, and he was forced to kind of move on with his work life. but he could not stop thinking about it. He was so intrigued by the compound. So several years later, Hoffman was like, you know what? I've climbed the corporate ladder far enough. I'm going to do my own thing. And he made LSD again. While doing so, he accidentally dropped a bit of the LSD onto his arm.
Accidentally.
Right.
He saw these animals having a great fucking time and he was like, me too.
A part of that world.
Yeah.
Yeah, he felt a bit dizzy at first, but he continued to work. And then I'm not sure how many days later this next part happened. It was either the next day or some very short time after that, because nothing intense happened when he dropped it on his arm. But then he was like, I'm going to fully commit. I'm going to put a ring on it. He decided to experiment on himself, and he dropped some acid or LSD at the lab, 250 mcg, which is, I don't know what mcg is.
MCG.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Maybe it's
Micrograms, maybe?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, perhaps. Well, it was 250 of them, which apparently is a really high dose. No pun intended. And he is riding his bicycle home, and then it's like his whole world shifted. He describes it as if he were seeing life through a curved mirror. And so forever since then, April 19th is now known as Bicycle Day, to the fateful day that Hoffman discovered that LSD was a drug that could alter your perception, consciousness. Yeah.
Did he keep doing LSD?
Oh, yes. He consulted a doctor the next day after feeling a heightened zest for life. And the doctor was like, you're all good. Like, your pupils are a bit more, what is it called?
Dilated.
Your pupils are a bit more dilated, but everything looks fine here to me. So Hoffman's like, all right, sweet. He informally continued to experiment on himself and his friends. And that is how we came to know LSD as a drug. Okay, are you ready for the next one?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So Viagra was accidentally founded, or at least accidentally founded, as a erectile drug. Originally, Viagra was used for lowering blood pressure, but it wasn't really working that well for that. And people were like, we don't want to give it up. And, and
like,
then,
why?
Yeah, they're like, but why though? Like, it's not working. And they're like, it's not working. Please.
Imagine having that conversation with your doctor.
You would hope that people would feel comfortable enough to like just be out with it with their doctor, but I feel like that's a relationship that you really have to develop over time.
Also, like, were they just like taking their pill in the morning for their blood pressure and then they have a boner all day?
I don't know.
And they liked that?
I feel like whenever they discovered what it did to them, they just took it whenever they wanted to take it.
Right.
They're like, my blood pressure might be lower, but I'll tell you what isn't.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So there you get the little blue pill. Cut from the same cloth, the Pap smear was accidentally invented.
What? How?
So this guy, Dr. George Nicholas Papanicolaou.
Pap smear.
Paposmiro. He was examining vaginal fluid, trying to learn more about chemical changes in the body during the menstrual cycle. And while he was looking under the microscope, he noticed some irregular cells, and he was actually able to diagnose that patient with cervical cancer.
Wow.
Yeah, and now we use the Pap smear for early cervical cancer detection with the simple test.
Yeah.
So make sure if you have a vagina, get checked every 6 months.
I've never had a Pap smear.
You
I need to get one.
should do it.
But I don't want to. I've also been vaccinated for HPV, so I feel like it's not super pressing, but I still do it.
Yeah, you can still develop it. And I think there are other things. That's the main thing. But I'm pretty sure there are other things they can tell from a Pap smear.
Really? I thought it was just for cervical cancer.
Oh, maybe not.
I don't know. I'm
I don't
very
know either.
ignorant on most things, but especially this.
At this point in time, most people are vaccinated for HPV, and they still recommend that everyone gets one. A pap smear. I think it's once or every 6 months.
I have no idea. I thought it was once a year, but could be wrong.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Anyway, take care of yourself, plee
Yeah, don't act like me.
Nonchalant with their health.
Yeah, playing fastball with my health.
Oh no. Playing poker. Okay, let's do 2 more and then I'll end this lesson. I have a few more, but maybe that's for another time. You already knew that chocolate chip cookies were an accident, but I wanted to fill in some of the details for us. So Ruth and Kenneth Wakefield ran Toll House Inn near Whitman, Massachusetts in the 1930s. And Ruth, the wife, worked very hard to make delicious homemade food for all of their guests. One day in 1937, she was making butter cookies and she was like, this could use a little something extra. She wanted to mix it up a little bit. So she thought that she would make all chocolate cookies. She cut a bar of chocolate, chopped it up, popped those suckers in the dough, and she expected them to completely melt in the oven and give her chocolate cookies.
Stupid idiot.
How
do you expect that to
should have
work?
known. That's like me expecting anything to go right. And then I pull it out and it's exactly the same as it ever was. Which is exactly what happened to poor Ruth. The chocolate pieces were completely intact, and have you ever had a chocolate chip cookie? They're amazing.
No.
Don't lie. Don't lie to our friends.
You know what's better than chocolate chip cookies?
Nothing?
M&M cookies.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
By far.
No. Because the outer hard candy shell of an M&M, it just doesn't mesh with the soft dough of a cookie.
It meshes so much better. And for some reason, the cookie part of M&M cookies tastes better than the cookie part of chocolate chip cookies.
It tastes more dry every time.
No, it just tastes like... I love chocolate chip cookies, but I really love M&M cookies. Go to Costco, everybody, right now. Get the chocolate chunk cookies, which are good, but also get the M&M cookies. And you tell me which is the superior cookie.
Please do, because I can't wait to be right. Like, that is my one thing in life that I just don't get tired of, is being right.
You're not right about this. M&M cookies are incredible. They're a delicacy of the gods.
I know you're wrong. I know that chocolate chip cookies are going to be the most popular. I would just have to say that really I feel bad for you. I feel like, chocolate chip cookies were first and M&M cookies are just hanging on by their...
No. You see how things work is they evolve and get better. So the first kind of cookie was actually, we know this. It was like some kind of like mixture of honey and almonds, which sounds vile. And then like fast forward a few hundred years, you get shortbread. Then move on a little longer, you get chocolate chip cookies, pretty good. We're getting better. And then M&M cookies, and then the cookies with the pink frosting and the sprinkles.
Oh.
Those are the best cookies.
I think we should have just skipped the M&M cookie phase altogether. I mean, what's next? Skittles on cookies?
I'd try it.
You would like it too. You would.
I probably would, yeah.
You see, I try to support my friends and then they do shit like this. They like M&M cookies.
I'm not sorry about it.
I can tell, and that pisses me off even more.
People are going to be on my side.
I can't wait to see, because Alec and I are like, no way.
Yeah, Alec is going to divorce me after this episode. I've really been kicking him where it hurts.
Yeah, I can't believe how many episodes end in divorce for you two. Because it's crazy, because y'all aren't even married yet.
No, we joke about getting preemptively divorced.
It's much cheaper that way. way.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, anyway, back to the OG best cookies of all time, the chocolate chip cookies. So people obviously loved them and thought that they were the best cookie of all time, and anything that would come after it would not compare. So guests came to the Toll House Inn just to eat Ruth's cookies. And
Ooh.
Ruth, I know, she's like, my cookies,
Yeah.
my cookies. Ruth always used Nestle chocolate to make her cookies, and since sharing is caring, she thought that she would write a nice little letter to Nestle telling them about her new recipe. And they loved it. They got permission from Ruth to put her recipe on the back of their chocolate bars, and they even included a little chopper with the package of every bar to make it easy to make into little chocolate chippies.
Did she get any money?
She got $500,000.
Okay, good.
Psych. She didn't get any money.
Oh.
They just gave her a lifetime supply of chocolate.
Those bitches.
I know.
And they still use the Toll
Yeah.
House.
I know. It's
my
crazy.
Oh my God, she should have sued their asses.
Can you imagine if it would have been her husband who wrote the letter?
Oh, it would have been completely different.
Right. He would have been the
They
CEO.
yeah, they would have given him a position.
Yeah, I'm really glad you asked that question because that was a little built-in joke. So you got me. So she did get a lifetime supply of chocolate so she could maintain her spot in the kitchen. And in 1939, Nestle came out with the OG chocolate morsels, and we now have chocolate chip cookies as we know them. Okay, let's do one more. Champagne was actually an accidental invention.
Wow.
Yes, champagne used to be considered the result of lazy or poor winemaking, but we now know that it was due to the weather in the 1400s. The weather was crazy. The temperature was constantly changing drastically, up, down, and the winemakers were like, what?
Snip,
And-
snap, snip, snap.
Thank you for that. The cold stopped the fermentation process. And when spring finally came and it broke, the cold weather right open and it was warm, the fermentation process began again, which created an excessive amount of carbon dioxide inside the wine bottles. At first, people were like, this shit is nasty. And the bottles would explode constantly, just like randomly.
That's fun.
And they saw champagne as just spoiled wine. So they looked down upon it. Clearly, they did not know the effects of champagne.
No, they didn't know you could mix it with port and have a delicious drink.
Yeah, they found out. They came around because who's really going to let alcohol go to waste, especially in the 1400s? No, thank you. A monk named Dom Pierre Perignon. I know it's a famous name.
Yeah,
But I don't
name
know
of champagne, right?
Exactly how to say it. Perignon, yeah. He was asked to fine tune the drink and make more bubbles in it. And
Two in the drink, one in the stink.
Yes. Killing it. Killing it. Dom Perignon is now cited as the creator of champagne, but we all know we have to give a little shout out to Mother Nature. That is
Shout
my
out.
lesson. Shout out to you, Mother Nature, Mama Nature. Oh, do we want to be done now? I have one more that might be fun, but if we're ready to move on, then let's just move on.
I don't care.
Go for it.
Okay. Another accidental invention, bubble wrap.
Ooh.
Alfred Fielding.
How do you accidentally make bubble wrap?
You're a man trying to create anything else but bubble wrap.
Okay. Burn.
Yeah, big burn. Yeah, two guys, Alfred Fielding and Mark Chauvinist, were trying to make a new style of wallpaper in 1957.
Whoa.
They wanted it to have texture. They wanted it to have pizzazz.
Wait. Can we get hot pink bubble wrap and use it as wallpaper and make like a psychedelic room with like lava lamps and shit and
my
blow up
God.
furniture and black lights? That sounds
Actually,
badass.
Yeah, with the blow up furniture, that sounds amazing.
Yeah. Let's do it to the living room. Our living room is so milquetoast right now. Like it's like the least decorated room in our house. We should just make it crazy.
Absolutely fucking insane.
Yeah.
And then when anyone new walks in, we're like, it hasn't, like, what do you mean? It hasn't changed. It's always been this way. You must have just not noticed.
Nobody has seen our house because we moved in during COVID.
That's so true.
None of our friends have ever been to our house. And honestly, I'm not sure we have friends anymore because I haven't talked to anyone since COVID.
That doesn't matter. What matters right now is this idea I just had. We should splatter we should splatter glow in the dark paint on the ceilings so that you don't notice it when we move out. Since we rent, they won't notice it. But when it's dark and we have the lava lamps on,
Why stop there? Why not paint everything and glow in the dark paint?
oh my God. What if we were like, ooh, let's do it true crime style and just splatter blood everywhere and then get blue lights in the room?
Oh, yes. Spray blood everywhere, bleach it all off, and then put luminol all over everything, and then black lights.
Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started in here.
This was interior design by Kat and Haley.
Don't check on us. Well, thankfully we can use bubble wrap if we really want to. And it's all thanks to these two guys. But unfortunately, their first approach did not go as expected. So what they did was they put two shower curtains together and then they put it through a heat sealing machine. And they didn't love the result.
Looked like garbage.
It was riddled with tiny air bubbles. And they're like, we just thought that it was going to be different than this. But they did not want to throw away their new creation. So they started to think of different uses. In fact, they thought over 400 new uses for their creation.
Are these the most creative men in history? Because how?
This feels like either they're the most creative men in history or they're the ones that just aren't going to give up, which I guess they are, but also just reminds me of being hit on when we used to go to bars pre-COVID. You know, like those guys that just won't stop talking to you.
That's true.
That's what it
The
feels
bubble
like.
wrap is like, I have a boyfriend. And they're like, but what if I put
What
you
if-
in a cardboard box around a vase?
But what if I just sealed two shower curtains together? I have an air mattress. That's way better than bubble wrap. They tried to use it for insulating greenhouses and it failed. And they never gave up, though. Eventually, after who knows how long, not in my notes, but after some amount of time, they found luck after branding it as bubble wrap. And they founded Sealed Air Corporation in 1960.
They had 400 ideas for bubble wrap and no better idea for a name for their company.
Yeah, I mean, they're simple men.
Yeah, I can tell.
A year later, they started using bubble wrap as the packaging material we all know it and love it as today. Bubble wrap. Lucky for them, it was not 2021 and two hosts of a podcast are making fun of them. It was the 60s and the timing was perfect. IBM had just released their 1401 unit, which is considered one of the first computers in the industry, and they needed a way to safely ship their computers. Bubble wrap was their solution to all IBM shipping problems, and the rest is history.
Wow. Also, I'm still stuck on using bubble wrap as wallpaper. And until then, let's hear a word from our sponsor.
Well, let's hear a word from my sources.
Oh, I'm sorry. I panicked because Alec was giving us the wave.
There's no time. There's no time. All right. So I have my sources are discovery.com, American Chemical Society, Smithsonian Magazine for bubble wrap, and the accidental invention of the Slinky, Social Studies for Kids, Bustle, Health News, HuffPost, and the Christian Science Monitor.
What?
I decided to switch it up this week.
Wow, look at you, well-rounded.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, well, now let's hear a word from our sponsor. We'll be right back.
All right, friends, we're really excited for one of our newest partners. That would be Seventh Hill CBD. They are a farm-to-table company based in Oregon, and their full-spectrum CBD products are crafted with a full flower infusion, which means that they bathe their flower directly in the oil or butter that they use in all of their recipes. So, if that doesn't already sound amazing, I'm going to throw it over to Kat to tell us a little bit more about what exactly goes into what you're getting with Seventh Hill.
Yeah, so I think Seventh Hill is really incredible because, like you said, they bathe their flour in the actual oils and butters that they use. It's a very organic process. In the past, when I've taken CBD, it's been maybe like in powdered form and just feels very like chemical and sterile. And I never really felt the effects from it until I tried Seventh Hill CBD. Seventh Hill CBD products actually contain a very small amount of THC. It's not enough to get you high. It's legal in all 50 states. Basically, what it's there for is it opens your receptors to allow you to take in more of those really good CBD molecules and terpene molecules. This lets you really feel the benefits of the products. I love taking this stuff. I get pain relief from it. It relaxes me, focuses me, just really makes me feel grounded, and it's a great part of my routine. I really love the CBD oils. They also make caramels, which are also super delicious. So if you prefer to eat your CBD in a delicious caramel, you can do that. I really just can't recommend these products enough.
Agreed. I was checking out their body scrub today. I think that's next on my list. It looks freaking amazing. I know I can't go wrong with Seventh Hill CBD, which is exactly why we've partnered with them, so that you all can also experience them, but also use our code. You can get 20% off your order using the code NIGHTCLASSY. The name of this podcast, all one word, Night Classy, for your order of Seventh Hill CBD.
So go to seventhhillcbd.com, enter promo code NIGHTCLASSY for 20% off your order.
Enjoy.
Welcome back to class. This lesson is a little less educational and more like TikTok tea that I've been interested in lately, but it's my spring break, so we don't have to be educational. Haley, have you seen that trend that's like, what's something that's not a cult but seems like a cult, and then people duet it?
Yes.
Well, I've seen a lot of these videos talking about specific products you can buy. And if you spend time on TikTok, I'm sure you've seen this too. You probably maybe have heard of a lot of these. And so I'm going to be covering 3 products with cult-like followings.
Oh, how cool. And then we could like say, do we think it's a cult or not?
They're definitely not cults. And I don't want to be like insensitive to cults or like people who have been in cults. I want to be insensitive to cults, but I don't want to be insensitive to people who have been in cults, like, because that's a serious issue. And I don't want to be calling these things cults, but they are cult-like. There's a level of obsession with some of these things that some might argue is unhealthy and maybe a little obsessive. I also want to do a disclaimer that the 3 products I'm going to cover are products that are marketed toward women. And by doing this, I don't want to sound like I'm shaming women or moms, because of course there are cult-like followings of products marketed toward men as well. But I mean, because I'm a woman, these are the products that show up in my algorithm and the ones that I see. So they're the ones that I'm going to do.
Can I guess what the products are?
Yeah, I'm sure you'll probably be able to guess all 3.
Okay, I know for one, I think LuLaRoe is definitely on the list.
No, actually not. I didn't do any
Really?
MLMs. I tried to,
okay.
because I feel like that's its own episode.
Yeah. Okay, then I don't know. Maybe Monet or Mary Kay.
No,
Mary
those
Kay's
are
MLM.
still all MLMs.
Yeah. Oh, well, I don't know then.
Okay. Well, so we're going to start. Do you want me to tell you all three, or do you want to learn what I'm doing as we go on?
One by one.
Okay, one by one. So I'm going to start with the Nugget Couch. Have you heard of this one?
No.
Oh my God, fuck yes. So this is crazy, y'all. So these are couches made for children, and they're made of 4 separate pieces of foam. So they can be, and they have like Velcro on them. Yes, now you know.
Yes, it's all clicking. Wow. Okay. Go on.
Yeah, so you can take them apart and reshape them. There's a sturdy base piece, a seat cushion, and then 2 triangular prism shapes. And you can kids can take them apart, turn them into slides, into play forts, into a couch. They're actually really cool, and they're covered in micro suede. It comes in trendy colors with bougie names like Misty Agave and Modern Mauve.
Okay. Kids couch,
Right.
Modern Agave.
Yeah, it's clearly
Misty
not.
Mauve.
Yes, you are spot on, because it's clearly not really being marketed toward kids.
Right.
It's being marketed toward these Pinterest moms who have become obsessed. The founders of this company are named Coca and Barron, and I think those are their last names. They came up with this idea when they were students at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill around 2012. Basically, they saw kids having futons, but futons were uncomfortable and ugly, and they would just get thrown away at the end of every year.
I had a futon underneath my loft bed when I was a kid, and the futon was dark olive green. And it was ugly as shit in my pink, pretty girl bedroom, but it worked.
Yeah, I always wanted a couch under my loft bed.
I was
jealous.
cool. I was cool. What can I say?
I only ever had normal beds. I did have a trundle bed once. Have I told this story on the podcast?
I don't think so.
I had a trundle bed, and my friend Rob was over, and Rob was a big guy. I have told this. He jumped on my bed and broke my bed in half, all the way down to the trundle, the second layer of it.
No.
What's a trundle bed?
It's like a bed that has like a drawer, and you pull the drawer out, and it's another bed.
He broke both layers.
Yes.
Yikes.
Shout out Rob. All right. So they wanted an alternative to these ugly futons. And so they came up with this idea for a foam couch that could be taken apart. In 2014, they started a Kickstarter campaign with a $20,000 goal, but they went way over their goal and raised $84,748. So they were able to start manufacturing their couches.
Okay.
I know.
Okay, pretty couch. What's the name again?
The Nugget.
The Nugget.
And I don't know if it was called the Nugget at this point, but they're making these couches, marketing them toward college students until 2017 when Fussell joined the team. And Fussell, I believe, was dating Coca, and she was at the time working as an elementary school teacher with TFA. And she asked for a Nugget couch for her classroom, and it was a huge hit with the kids. So when Fussell joined the team, she was like, we shouldn't be marketing these toward college kids. We should be marketing these towards small children. And this was a game-changing revelation. She was spot on. It was immediately insanely successful with parents getting these for their small kids. And the Nugget relied primarily on word-of-mouth marketing, especially through social media and mom groups. They, right off the bat, had a ton of devoted customers and were having trouble keeping up with orders.
Wow. Also, if I myself know about these Nugget couches, yeah, they must be everywhere.
Oh,
because
yeah.
I'm not a mom. Well, actually, I teach preschool, so maybe that's why I've been getting.
Have you seen the TikToks of people talking about the cult-like stuff, or have you just seen advertisements?
I think I've seen both.
Okay, cool. So they were pretty successful before the pandemic, but after the pandemic, the popularity skyrocketed. People were at home with their children. They couldn't take them to the park anymore, so they were looking for a way to bring playtime in the home. Also, I forgot to mention, these couches are $229, so they're fairly affordable for most upper middle class families. They're not insanely expensive, but they are a little pricey for a children's toy. And so they were selling a shit ton of these couches. the company had to quadruple its staff from 20 to 80 people and move into a 100,000 square foot manufacturing facility.
Oh, life must be so hard, so successful.
I don't think they're claiming that this was hard, but it was like overnight. Like the pandemic hit and suddenly they had to quadruple their company.
That's how I hear. I'm like over here being a teacher in the pandemic, being like, oh, I didn't get to work for 4 months until spring break.
Right.
Ugh.
This one bitch was a TFA teacher, just hopped right on right before.
Yeah, where's our Kickstarter that raises $84,000?
Maybe we need to think of some ideas.
I mean, I think we're doing it right now. It's just taking a bit longer than expected.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, like I said, this was becoming insanely popular, especially with like Pinterest and influencer moms. And it became somewhat of a status symbol because of the high demand, and the company was having difficulty keeping up with this demand. It was difficult to get a Nugget couch, which just made them even more desirable and made the people who had them want to show them off. The company restocked 40,000 units last August and was set to drop them at a certain day at a certain time. They had 100,000 people log onto their site at the release time to scoop them up. The stock sold out in under a minute.
What?
Mm-hmm.
What?
It was like the Kylie lip kits.
Also, you saying all this right now made me realize I never finished my segment on Slinkies.
Really? I didn't even notice. Do you want to finish?
No, just throw back to the Slinky section. The guy who invented it and his wife, they convinced the people at some like department store to demo them during Christmas time, and they sold out 400 of them in like 2 hours.
Okay, nice. Good to know.
I'm sorry, back to your lesson.
I had noted it, but I was like, I think I must have missed something.
No, we just go off on those tangents sometimes.
Yeah.
And
Well, I'm sorry.
no, I'm sorry. I was the teacher. I was supposed to be keeping track, but I was too lost in the sauce, I guess.
The company didn't like this feeling of hecticness and competition. They felt like it was unfair, and they just didn't like the overall vibe that it gave to their product. So they wanted to democratize the process. Their solution was to implement a lottery. So from October 23rd to December 11th, leading up to the holiday season, each week they would randomly draw 5,000 to 10,000 names. Those people would get sent a link so they could order the couch. This had the opposite effect of the goal, and instead of making these couches seem less exclusive and making things more fair, it made the couches more desirable, drove up demand, and made people even more cutthroat obsessed about getting one of these couches.
Yeah, look behind like the curtain. And they're like, don't look behind the curtain. And you see some mastermind with marketing, and they're like,
Right.
here's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, it's like you want what you can't have, and you see all these influencers with 5 nuggets. And you're like, I need a nugget or I'm nobody. And this is exactly what happened. People were obsessed with this product to what I would call almost an unhealthy level. There are Facebook groups that go on for miles. Like you can look up the nugget on Facebook, which I did, and just scroll. There's 1,000 Facebook groups with tens of thousands of members, all dedicated to the nugget.
The only nugget I feel this strongly about is the chicken nugget.
Chicken nugget. Yes.
You could check my Facebook for chicken nuggets. You'd get the same effect.
Abs-
Just scroll and scroll and
Oh
scroll.
my
Just all
God.
chicken nuggets.
I need a chicken nugget, a vegetarian chicken nugget.
I
right now.
got the Kjorn. I
Yeah.
brought my stash over from Tommy's, so we're
Oof.
fucking set. If
I'm gonna steal some from
nugs
you.
tonight.
Oh my god, yum! Nuggets are resold in places like Facebook Marketplace and OfferUp for $500 to $1,000, even up to $10,000.
So at this point in time, it's really just like the exclusivity
Yes,
of having one. Not
they're
actually.
not that special. Like there are other foam couches for kids on the market.
You could literally just put a twin mattress on the ground and then put a sheet over it, and put pillows on top of it
It's
to get the same
literally
effect.
just like it's like a fold up mattress that you put on the floor. Like it's just like a piece of foam that folds.
Yeah, it looks like someone's old sex pillow that they don't use anymore. That the parents
Did you just say sex pillow?
Yeah, I did.
It does look like a sex pillow, and we'll get to it.
Want to keep having kids? Well, get your kids your Nugget mattress today.
Yep. Yes.
What?
So we're about to be there. Really quickly, it's rumored that sometimes even just the covers go for $1,000 because the covers you can remove and wash them because it's for kids, whatever. Again, the whole part of your nugget is to showcase it on social media and brag that you have a nugget. And it became a thing that when you got your nugget, before you even took it out of the box, you'd have your husband sit on it and pose for a picture. The less clothes, the better. And if they were fully naked, A++.
Wow. Okay.
And so the nugget has been sexualized. There's a private Facebook group called Nugget After Dark. And before I move on, I want to say I'm not at all shaming moms for having sex or being open about their sexual experiences in a private Facebook group. But I do think this sexualization of a piece of child's furniture is interesting. Again, do whatever you want to do, but I think it's interesting.
Yeah, what happened to the good old kitchen island? What happened to the good old normal couch?
Right. But like you said,
What happened to the Applebee's bathroom?
it looks like sex furniture.
It
And it
really
can
does.
be reassembled to accommodate whatever position you want. And
It
people figured that out very quickly. Nugget After Dark has about 10,000 members, and their parents discuss having sex on their nugget couch.
That's like, I'm sure the first man who like created fire, he was like, hey, other caveman or whoever, like, look at this. Like, what was it like to be the first person who had sex on a nugget? Because
Obviously really good because they made a Facebook page and now it's a thing.
the pillows look super dense. The fabric looks really soft.
Yeah, honestly, I understand. Also, if you look up sex furniture or like sex couch, it's basically this. It's pieces of foam that you can like assemble and to like help you and like support different areas that
And
you
I-
need to support.
I bet the nugget is
Okay.
less expensive.
Probably. So like honestly, I kind of get it.
Yeah, look, there's the nugget under sex furniture.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's only the third row down, too.
Yeah. So like I do kind of get it, but like parents will have sex on like their actual child's nugget. I mean, it's hard to get. So like you can't have two. You can't have a sex one and a kid one. So it became a whole thing. The idea is that sex on the nugget is a mind-blowing experience. There's a lot of expectations wrapped up in it. So people will like get their nugget and be like really ready to get down and dirty on their nugget and then be like disappointed because the Facebook group just like makes it seem like it's so amazing.
I feel like part of that is probably also the feeling that you should not be doing that. Since
Yes.
it is your child's furniture.
Definitely. I think that's probably a big part of
The
it.
scandalosity.
Yeah. And like people are obsessed with it for all different reasons. Some people have like even like replaced their actual living room furniture with nugget couches. People are just like freaking crazy about this thing. And I mean, it does look kind of cool, but
Yeah.
I don't.
Their next commercial should be like, I got my marriage back with Nugget. I got my afternoons back with Nugget. My child never talks to me anymore. It's all about Nugget.
Nugget. The Nugget brand actually did kind of embrace this. Like I don't have this in my notes, so I like can't quote it verbatim, but I think on their like homepage they had like welcome like Nugget After Dark or like something like that. Like they've been very lighthearted about it and it probably has brought them more business. So like why would they be upset about that? Like objectively it's just a couch. Like
It's
do what
just
you want
sex.
to do. It's
Everyone
also
has
just sex. Yes. And again, I'm not shaming anyone because like I honestly I get it, but it's become this like weird bragging point to have a nugget and then have sex on it, like something that you gloat about on social media, which I do think is a little bit strange.
This is as you two say, a non sequitur, but I will never look at the miniature couch and chairs in my classroom the same.
Maybe you should bring them home.
No, and nothing like that has ever and will ever happen, but this topic just has my brain rumbling.
Yeah, this topic is a bit much. The last thing I want to end on with the nugget is that like when you see them for resale online, like a lot of times you'll see the disclaimer like not used for nugget after dark, which like tells people buying it that you didn't have sex on it, which to me is a bunch of bullshit because that's like when you go on Facebook Marketplace and it says smoke free, pet free home. To hell it's not. Like,
yeah, then
lies.
Why are you saying that then?
Right.
Because I wouldn't have even guessed that had you not said that. So
yeah, it's just like something so easy to lie about. Like, who's going to prove that you didn't have sex on your fucking couch?
Yeah, let me see your nanny cam. That's the only way.
Give me the receipts. Okay, so my next one is Rae Dunn. Do you know this one?
No, but I do know a girl from high school who her first name was Bleep, and then her middle and last name were Rae Dunn.
Oh, wow. Look at that. I feel like Rae is a very common middle name for girls in our age group.
Yeah, RAE.
All right. So Rae Dunn is a designer who has a line of pottery sold at Home Goods, TJ Maxx, and Marshalls. You've probably seen it. It's like cream colored with big, like bold black lettering on it in a distinctive font. And like it says what it is.
Yeah, I do remember now a TikToker who works at TJ Maxx did a video on this.
I'm sure you've seen the same video I'm going to talk about. So if you're not familiar with this, it'll say like butter on a butter dish or like sip on a mug, meow on a cat dish. It just like labels literally what it is. It's kind of like a minimalistic country chic.
It takes
aesthetic.
the thinking out of thinking.
Exactly. It's very, it's not my taste, but like, again, I'm not judging anyone. Like you do you.
Yeah. If I saw it in an Airbnb, I'd be like,
yeah, it's here.
That's it. I would have no words. It would just be.
It's very like, it's very plain. Like it's very unoffensive, unassuming decor.
And for some reason, people fucking love it.
People fucking love it. On any given day, you can find groups of people waiting out of on the front before the retail stores even open so they can storm into the store and be the first one to snag the new Rae Dunn pieces.
This is how we get rich. You just have to put words, plain words on mugs. You need to put 2 shower curtains through a heat press. I think we're doing too much with this podcast. I think we need to just start like recording what we say in our sleep.
It really sounds like it's pure luck. Like,
yeah.
What even, how, why do people like this stuff? I mean, I get that like it matches the whole farmhouse decor thing, but like why this specifically?
I think because it's unintimidating.
Yeah.
I think that it is unimposing. It doesn't intimidate. It's very easy and it makes you feel good about yourself because you're like, yeah, I know that sugar jar is my sugar jar. I can read.
And are they kind of molded like imperfectly?
Yeah, and I'll talk about that because Rae Dunn is a real person. She is a designer and she has a real passion for working with pottery. She started in 1994. And like you said, Alec, they're kind of like imperfect looking. She's influenced by a Japanese aesthetic called wabi-sabi, which embraces the beauty and imperfection. So nothing she makes is uniform. It's made to look like it's not mass produced, like it's made by hands and not a machine. I have a quote from her where she says, "I just liked it because it looked like someone made it rather than a machine. I've always been drawn to things that are not perfect. I love ruddy skin with freckles. To me, it has more character. I love wrinkly clothes, things that show life and usage." And so I do kind of get it in that sense. Like it looks lived in. It's something that's practical. It's definitely kind of become associated with like Karen, Wine Mom, Christian Girl Autumn, Live, Laugh, Love type home decor. And I would venture to say that a lot of its especially more intense consumers are probably what you might call a Karen. Rae Dunn herself has said, quote, "It really has become this crazy cult." And coming from the designer herself, I think that's a big statement.
Yeah, I would say so too.
Yeah. Hunting down Rae Dunn pieces is called dunning. There are videos on TikTok, which I'm sure you've seen, where people say like they started their job at TJ Maxx and were warned about the Rae Dunn women who wait outside the store, run in, grab this stuff, and fight each other. Like they literally throw hands. People have spent over $1,500 in just 6 months and gone deeply into debt buying these fucking mugs.
Yeah, here's the thing though. Like you can buy it, but you can also do it yourself.
Yeah.
This is the ultimate DIY because there's no way you're going to fuck this up.
Truly. Like buy the font stencil. It doesn't, you can draw on a white cup and I mean, I'm not trying to downgrade Rae Dunn's work because like it is cool. Like she's a female entrepreneur that like became successful from her passion. Like I don't want to shit on her art, but also it's very simple.
Yeah, the intensity surrounding this art is insane. And I know there are plenty of other artists out there who have something very similar that you're not going to have to get punched or beat or punched for.
Right. And I think some people kind of like the competition. Like to some people, it's more of the hunt for them than they care about the actual products. There's a Facebook group called Rae Dunn Rants and Raves where Rae Dunn lovers can vent and talk about their experiences purchasing Rae Dunn. And I have a quote from the page. Things tend to get rowdy in here, so you better have your seat reserved and popcorn readily available. You can be yourself in here, so don't feel like you have to hold back. We cuss, argue, call each other out on bullshit, share screenshots, and have a jolly fucking good time. This is a group about mugs.
Are you a part of that group now?
No, God, no.
Damn it.
God, no.
I would love to be an observer of that group, though. What's it called again?
Rae Dunn Rants and Raves.
All right, let me look it up.
Please don't go join this group. Like, I'm talking to our listeners. Like, don't go in there and, like, troll people. People are allowed to enjoy what they want to enjoy.
Yeah,
But-
I just want to look at it.
Yeah. So,
Wow, it came up like that. All I had to type was Rae Dunn.
yeah, I think for a lot of people, it's about the competition. It's about the hunt. People really take pride in their rarer Rae Dunn items. I mean, whatever. Like, you can enjoy things that you want to enjoy. But, like, there is a cult aspect that Rae Dunn has acknowledged herself. And she does say that it really bums her out. Pottery for her is a passion, and she never intended for her work to be mass-produced. She actually doesn't really own much of her line anymore. She,
Wow.
Yeah, she really considers herself an artist and never intended for this to become a career. And then suddenly her shit just got blown up, which I'm sure she's not complaining. It's probably made her a very wealthy woman. But, you know, it probably did also take some of the joy and artistry out. So we can acknowledge that.
Do you want to hear the questions to get into this Rae Dunn Rants and Raves page?
Sure.
All right, number 1, Pinky promised not to get offended by someone's post or comments. Number 2, are you over the age of 18? Admin isn't getting paid to babysit. Can you conduct yourself like an adult?
Oh my God.
I don't know.
I love how the first one is you can't get offended. And also, like, you got to act like an adult. Like, pick one. Like, if you guys are offending people left and right over pottery.
Are you going to be a sheep or not?
Right. Yeah, big lion energy over in this group, I'm sure.
Yes. Oh, yes. And then third is, do you admin any other Rae Dunn pages? Okay, see. If so, do you agree to not remove mutual members in those groups based off of their post, comments, and actions in this group?
So it really is probably a free-for-all.
Wow, it's fucking cutthroat amongst even just these Facebook groups.
Yeah. Like this whole thing, I don't get it. I wish if anyone listening is like part of this, I don't even know what to call it, fanaticism, let me know what the appeal is because I don't get it. It would be like if you showed me a white table from IKEA and you're like, this is it. Like, what?
It's like those girls in high school fist fighting each other over the mediocre
Right,
guy
like
who
the
has
ugliest
no
boy in our
personality.
grade. Yeah, he like smokes weed behind the skate ramp every day.
This is their cover photo, this meme. It's the one of the woman yelling at the cat.
Oh my God, yeah. And the woman is saying, I can't believe you posted a pic of the cops arresting me at Home Goods. And then the cat says, welcome to Ray Dunn's Rants and Raves. I like that they like can see the humor in themselves. I appreciate that.
Me too. It's like I feel like the roller derby of home goods and
Yeah.
TJ Maxx.
And I mean, I'm a Maxinista. Like I can relate a little
Are you
bit.
willing to fight for it though? I think that's the real question.
If they only have one cucumber melon candle left and I'm trying to revamp my house for the summer, I might throw some hands.
How about if they only have one M&M cookie left?
I would never buy a cookie from TJ Maxx.
How about if I bring up how much better chocolate chip cookies are than M&M cookies
In a TJ Maxx? Depending on my menstrual cycle, I might throw hands.
Fair enough.
Okay, I have one more to talk about, and that is the classic Birkin bags.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, ooh.
Birkin bags.
This is the ultimate status symbol in fashion, in the celebrity world. You'll hear them referenced all the time in rap music. These bags start at around $8,500 and only go up in price, topping off around $145,000.
But I want to see the vintage Vera Bradley. I want to see.
What?
I want to see the 2009 Vera Bradley string tie backpack. That's what I want to see. I don't care about your Birkin. Everyone has a Birkin these days in the rap industry. Where's your blue, yellow, and white Vera Bradley?
I have a Vera Bradley duffel bag in my closet.
My
I'm
laptop.
never getting rid of it.
My laptop
That's
case is
true.
Vera Bradley.
Haley has a Vera Bradley laptop case at her feet.
I got it for Christmas from my beloved teaching assistant. She's amazing. Shout out to you.
Yeah, hey, I still like Vera Bradley. I'm not gonna lie. I don't see the issues that everyone has with it.
I don't either. I think it's cute as fuck.
Yeah.
But I want to see the vintage. I'm talking 10 years ago. Because for some reason, Vera Bradley ages at 3 times the normal speed.
Oh, easily. It's like the Lily Pulitzer or like the fucking
Yeah, I remember being left out for about 3 minutes my senior year of high school, and then everyone got the fuck over.
It's like the American Girl doll of high school. Like I finally got an American Girl doll in elementary school, like right when I was like too old for one and no one plays with them anymore. And I had to play with her in secret.
You know what? That's what you have to do sometimes. But take solace in knowing that a bunch of other people played with their dolls in secret too, I'm sure.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. It was just not socially acceptable.
The thing is, though, I was too embarrassed to play with my American Girl doll, but not too embarrassed to play with my toy horses.
I thought you were going to say to be a horse.
That too. That too.
To play with a horse is to be a horse. And you're that bitch.
I'm that bitch. And I'm proud.
Is there a name for a girl horse?
A mare.
And you're that mare.
I'm that filly. I'm a young girl horse.
Okay. You've got like 1 more year.
Shut up.
That had the vibe of like a furry type. We can't say furry. That had the vibe of someone who's really developed their character.
I have. And if I were going to be a furry, my persona would definitely be a horse. I'm not even ashamed. I'm proud. Cut that out. Actually, you can leave it in, but cut out where I said I'm not even ashamed because I don't think furries shouldn't be ashamed. Do what you want to do.
I can't believe you just went from furry to someone who's really developed their character.
No, I meant like their furry character, like their like
Like
sex
alter
their
ego.
alter persona thing.
Hey, I have, and I'm a chestnut colored filly.
That felt like some kind of inside joke that I don't want to get.
Oh God, no. All right. Back to Birkins. Back to Birkins. They're a line of handbags made by Hermes. These bags started in 1984 when actress Jane Birkin was sat next to former Hermes chief executive. Are you raising your hand?
Yeah, are Birkenstocks related to
no,
Birkin?
no,
Okay.
no.
I was going to say that is a hard transition.
Yeah, no relation, pretty sure. They're a different level of elite.
Holy shit. Alika has pulled them
Yeah.
up like $48,000?
Yeah,
$17,000?
I told you.
I know, but just like, why though?
Because we'll get to it. It's a supply and demand issue. Hermes.
For the guys out there that don't know anything about this, can you explain just what
Or
it is?
girls.
I'm about to.
Okay.
You guys just keep wanting to interrupt me and talk
Sorry.
about how you're furries.
Well, this is a podcast and some of us like to talk.
Well, I don't. Just kidding, I do.
And you're like, nah. That was good. That was good. Oh, wow. Wow.
I'm gonna isolate that and make it a drop on it.
Oh my
Release
God.
it into the intro.
I'm proud.
Yes.
You know what I used to do? I'm just digging myself in quite the hole right now. I used to run around my backyard neighing, like really realistic neighing, like guttural from my chest. And I used to think it's so cool that the neighbors can hear this and they think I have a horse.
It's funny what we tell ourselves as children.
They're probably so freaked out.
Alec is like, I've never been more attracted to you right now.
I'm like biting my lip.
Oh my Lord.
It's amazing you've turned out so well.
Have I? I
say
think I've
so.
learned to hide it.
I, on the playground, used to think that if I ran fast enough and jumped hard enough, I could fly. So
So you were stupid too.
I think, yeah, we found each other.
Yeah, we did. We knew. I could see it in your eyes.
I was like, oh, she's a freak.
What can I say?
From across the auditorium, I just neigh at you, and you're like, best friends.
I want to make the meme of the guy at the party who's like, they don't know, and they don't know that I was the horse they heard outside.
All right. You should make that. All right. So back to what I was saying before I was interrupted. Jane Birkin sat next to former Hermes chief executive Jean-Louis Dumas on a flight, and Jane's purse spilled. And she remarked that she wished she had a bag with big pockets. And then this sparked a conversation between the two of them about the ideal bag, and the Birkin was born. Hermes already had a signature purse called the Kelly, and the Hermes was basically not the Hermes. The Birkin was basically a larger version of that. It was sporty and classic. It has small handles, so it can be carried on the hand or the wrists. And it's very structured. It's kind of like a square shape with 4 studs on the base, so it can kind of be like whipped around. And it holds a lot of shit. It's a sporty kind of like tote bag with small handles.
You could beat some ass with that bag.
Oh, easily. Throw some bricks in that baby. Birkins really reached mass popularity in the 1990s, and this brand thrives on its rarity and exclusivity. There's, to this day, only a few 100,000 in circulation. And certain colors and styles are rarer than others. The more colorful and ornate styles are typically the rarest. A red crocodile Birkin with 18 karat white gold and diamond hardware sold for $203,150 at an auction in Dallas in 2011. For Christmas in 2013, Kanye West bought Kim Kardashian a $40,000 custom Birkin.
Wow. Lowballing it.
Right, yeah, it's kind of cheap.
Like, he bought $40,000 worth of a Birkin bag when he could have done like 50.
Right. Yeah. Good thing they're getting a divorce.
I've
'cause
lost respect. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
She deserves a divorce.
She does, though.
I feel like so many good comebacks come for women after divorce. For men,
Oh
they're
my
just-
God, I
they're
know.
fucked.
True. Yeah. Sorry, not sorry. Birkins are a huge status symbol, especially in celebrity culture. Cardi B, as I'm sure many of us know, is a major collector of Birkins. She loves to show them off. Last time I saw, she had 24 of them. Victoria Beckham is rumored to own 100. And Drake and Kylie Jenner are also big collectors of Birkin bags.
Good for them, but also That's disgusting.
Yeah. I thought about this a lot when I was writing my notes. And like, honestly, I feel like my judgment is not with the people, but with the institutions that allow people to accumulate that much wealth. Like, honestly, if you got it, fucking buy the shit you want. But also, people shouldn't be able to accumulate so much wealth, you know?
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah. I remember having a discussion with an ex-boyfriend in college who was 100% more religious than I am. And I was like, well, if there's a God, then what about all the people who are starving or who are like, you know, really struggling in all aspects of their lives? And he was like, that's not our sin, or that's not God's sin. That's like our sin. Like
Yeah.
we're the ones who make change and all that. And I was like, damn it, you're right.
It kind of makes sense. And also, like, sure, these celebrities have a lot, but like there are people who are like make these celebrities look like peasants. Like there are people that own like a huge portions of the wealth in this country, and you don't even know their names. Like those are the people who I really have a problem with.
Yeah, true.
I mean,
That's
if you're an
true.
artist who became wildly successful, good for you. I don't have any qualms.
Agreed. But from way down here, it just feels bad.
It does feel pretty bad. Capitalism.
Yeah, I would love to be like, I mean, I'm in the cult. I get it. Birkin bags, bitch.
Yeah. Oh my God. If I could afford, I'd have one if I could afford one.
What color would
Easy.
you do?
You know, that's hard because I like neutrals, but the real status symbols are the ones that are crazy looking. And so it's hard to pick.
I think if I didn't have issues with Birkin bags, I would do white because I think you can do it any season. You can match it with anything. I wouldn't want to do black because I would want people to know that it's a Birkin bag.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't want people to think it's a knockoff. I'd kind of like a beige crocodile one. Might be cool.
Yeah, that'd be also matchy.
Yeah. All right. Well, these bags, they're not just exclusive because they're expensive. Just because you have the money does not mean you can get a bag. They're extremely hard to get, even for celebrities. You cannot just walk into an Hermes store and choose to buy a bag. That's not how this works. And this means they usually resell much higher than you buy them for at Hermes because you're usually forced to buy one secondhand, because Hermes does not just sell these bags to anybody. The second your Birkin leaves the store, it jumps up in value. It's a better investment than gold. Their value has increased $500% over the last 35 years, and they increase at an estimated 14% per year.
Dude, being a human is weird.
Yeah, that
This
we
is
value these
weird.
fucking bags. I mean, gold is also a social construct. Like, why do we value gold?
Right. Gold, diamonds,
Yeah, it's all just
time.
it's all just a construct. Nothing has meaning.
We are in a simulation.
Yeah.
And once again, please, whoever's in control, make me eat more vegetables.
Get me a Birkin bag. So Hermes does gatekeep who can buy the bags, and they also gatekeep how many you can buy in 1 year. Birkins and Kellys are what they call quota bags, which means anyone, unless you're like a really high status VIP, can only buy 2 per year. You can buy 1 Kelly and 1 Birkin, or 2 Birkins and 2 Kellys. And there are Hermes bags available online from the retailer, but typically to get one of these, you have to be put on a wait list, and that usually lasts around 2 years to be able to give them $40,000 to buy your bag.
You know what I didn't wish I knew, but I did, is that that's similar to getting into a good daycare.
Yeah.
If you have a kid, you should be signing up for daycare as soon as you're pregnant.
Yeah.
Because the good ones are on a wait list.
How wild is that? If you go into an Hermes store, if you decide you're not going to wait in that wait list online, you're going to walk into the boutique and ask for a bag, you'll likely be met with a lot of excuses. They'll tell you, we don't have any in stock. Well, they'll tell you the sales associates don't have access to the ones they have in stock because they don't just have them on the store floor. You have to go in and ask for one. Sometimes they'll have models on the bags on the floor, but they're not for sale. And you can't look at one. There's like a black one behind the counter. You can't say, I'd like to buy a bag like that. They're not stocked in the back. There's no guarantee that the ones you see in the store, they'll be able to sell you.
That just tells you that it's all about like who's buying it and about the mystique.
100%. 100%. And if you go into the boutique and you're like, okay, you don't have any here, like, does another store in town have them? You'll be told, oh, we don't talk to other stores. And
What?
Yeah. And if you ask when they'll be back in stock, they'll say they don't know. And what you should do is come into the store every day and ask.
You're telling me that freaking Dairy Queen has better communication amongst their franchises than Hermes?
Yeah. And Hermes.
It's intentional scarcity,
Yeah.
though.
It's intentional scarcity. And also Hermes stores are individually owned. So it's not like they're really like they're overseen by Hermes, but they're not like the Gap, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
I know. It's weird. And so they might also in the store tell you they'll put you on a wait list. But again, that can take years. And these excuses might sometimes be true. Sometimes they just don't want to sell you a bag because you don't look worthy of having a bag. Otherwise, it might sometimes be true because Hermes stores don't stock bags regularly. They only get a handful each year if they get them at all. And if you're not a celebrity, you need to be extremely lucky and come into the store at just the right time to get a bag. So there's this TikToker named Mrs. Hannah Stella, and she has a few Birkin bags and did a video on how to get one from the Hermes store. And so I'm just going to go through what she said. She said, first, you have to find a salesperson that you connect with. And that might take a few trips to the Birkin store because you have to build a relationship with the salesperson. Otherwise, they're not going to sell you that bag. They have to trust you. You'll talk to them about the brand and you'll buy a few other things from the store, like china or a scarf, just to kind of build their trust and let them know you're serious. Then you'll tell them a wish list of the exact bags you want. But their bags usually just aren't on their website, you know? They don't just tell you what bags they have. So in order to find out what bags you can say you want is you have to do deep dives into online forums and figure out what other people are saying. And then that's how you find out what bags they have available. And
I feel like you're telling me about a delusion.
it's wild, right?
It is wild.
This is cult-like behavior. You're going through all of this for a purse.
Yeah.
And there's a hazing and vetting process involved in buying a purse.
Totally.
It's weird.
It's all by design, too.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I'm not trying to say it's random because it's not. The reason they're able to sell these bags for $40,000 is because it's a special club if you have one.
You feel like it's worth it, especially after going through all that.
Yeah, it's something you can go to the country club with and everyone knows you're actually rich.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. Then you give them your wish list and you wait. Hopefully they'll call you, but it could take months, if at all, and tell you they have a bag for you. You go in. You don't know what the bag is going to be. There's no guarantee they'll get you one off your wish list, and they'll show you the bag, one bag, and you can buy it or not. And that's it. They can really make you work for a bag unless you're a celebrity. And like Alex said, it's proven to be a great marketing strategy. And this is what makes these bags highly desirable is you're part of the cool rich person's club if you have one. It's like a VIP pass that you wear on your wrist. And so it's, of course, made people extremely obsessed with this brand. And it's a way to show people you're part of the gang.
No kidding. I didn't hear about the Birkin bag until even recently, within the past couple months in rap songs.
Right. Yeah, I think I heard about it for the first time from a Cardi B song.
Yeah, same here. Wow, what the hell?
Yeah, isn't that wild?
That is so wild. This is like scale it way down, and you've got how the market was for MK purses when I was in high school. That's exactly what it feels like.
Oh my gosh. I once found a Michael Kors belt at Marshall's and I thought I was the coolest bitch in the school.
Right. And then like you wear it to school and reality sets in that like it's not actually going to make anything better.
No.
But it's
not.
worth trying and trying and trying and trying.
Oh my
Just
gosh.
kidding. It's not. Things don't make you happier.
They don't, but they can make you happier for a second.
For a second. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that one rush of endorphins.
You know what can make you
Sometimes.
happier?
M&M cookie.
Cats. Cats
True.
can make you happier.
That's a fact. They truly
They truly
they're
do.
good animals.
Proven.
Yeah.
Proven to make you happier.
We've done a case study. We have anecdotal evidence from ourselves.
Oh yeah, I'm 100% happier from when I got my cat to now. It has nothing to do with being in a successful relationship or growing up and evolving and healing past traumas.
No, it's the cat. 100% the cat. Okay, my sources are latimes.com, a YouTube video about the Nugget by Amanda of Swell Entertainment. I got a lot of my information from her. It's a great video. You should check it out. Thesubscriber.medium.com, cheatsheet.com, vice.com, bbc.com, l.com, vogue.co.uk, baghunter.com, whowhatwhere.com, and of course the TikToker Mrs. Hannah Stella. And that was my lesson.
Thank you for that. I will be on the close lookout to not get sucked into any more cults this season.
If you had to choose a product that you had a cult-like obsession over, what would it be?
I think you already know what it is.
Your Dyson blow dryer?
Well, that one's really good. But if y'all don't know, I sold Cutco throughout and managed and ran an office for
That's
Cutco
true.
my entire college career. It changed my life. It is not a multi-level marketing, and I'm obsessed with the product. It's great, and it helped me grow a lot as a person, professionally and financially.
Cult-like behavior. We've had like drunk fights in a bar that have both ended in us crying over Cutco. All right. Mine would be the Hydro Flask.
Okay,
I couldn't live without my Hydro Flask.
Yeah, you use it all day. I have the knockoff version of it, and it's just as good.
Yeah. I mean, just
for
insulated
my uses.
insulated
anyway. water.
water bottles. I
Yeah.
think are just very important.
I don't need ice cold, but you like ice cold.
It's gotta be ice cold. Ice
Yeah.
cold or bust. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening to this. If you liked this, please remember to follow, review, and rate our podcast on Apple Podcasts. Tell a friend about us, and maybe even head over to our Patreon. Check out what that's all about. Thank you again for listening. We love you. And 3, 2, 1, class dismissed.